Evening. Thank you for joining us. You're watching New Vision TV News. My name is Lynn Komjisha. Here's what's coming up.
Got the judge who swore you in, Justice Kakuru tells Besigye. Over 6,500 people displaced in Buyende district. In news around East Africa, Kenya marks 56 years as a republic. And in news around the world, Sudan's deposed Bashir faces verdict in corruption case. In our special report, how Ugandans fell into the cryptocurrency trap.
A very good evening once again. Thank you for joining us. Now here we come to you from the New Vision newsroom. Most bodies recovered in the Bududa mudslides in the last 2 days have decomposed, making it hard for their relatives to identify them. The graders have started retrieving rotten parts of the bodies. Relatives have resorted to identifying their people by their clothes. Villagers have been moved assistance from the aid groups and the government. Rescuers said they have so far recovered 12 bodies but are unable to continue with the search because of the continuous rains and the grader is out of fuel. Hundreds of people have been displaced by floods in Butaleja district, Bulambuli and some parts of Sironko district. Please change the screen. Moving on, the Constitutional Court has dismissed Colonel Dr. Chiza Bessigye's petition in which he was challenging the constitutionality of the law under which the police curbed his activities. Besigye challenged the constitutionality of sections of the Penal Code Act under which the police clamped down walk-to-work protests, his detention and trial. We have more details.
The justices, led by Kenneth Kakuru, said although Besigye's petition raises issues for constitutional interpretation, they would not grant him remedies, saying he should seek audience before his own court or before the judge who swore him in as president. Other justices who heard the case were Geoffrey Kiriawide, Elizabeth Musoke, Cheborion Barishaki, and Stephen Musota. On May 11, 2016, Besigye secretly swore himself in as president of Uganda a day before the official swearing-in ceremony of President Yoweri Museveni. According to the justices, after Besigye lost presidential elections, he formed his own government and National Assembly, the matter which was widely reported by the media. Besigye challenged the results of the elections in court twice, 2001 and 2006, and lost both court battles. In 2011, he did not go to court, contending that it was a waste of time. Quoting stories from the media, the justices said Besigye says the constitution having been overthrown, the people of Uganda now have a duty to re-establish a constitutional order through campaigns of civil disobedience such as those advocated by activists for change. Since there's no validly elected government in power, it would follow that there are no legally constituted courts of law. This court, it follows, is illegitimate and as such has no power to adjudicate on any dispute, including determination of his petition. if indeed the president of this country was not elected by the people of Uganda, having usurped their sovereignty set out in Article 1 of the Constitution, it would follow that he has no power to appoint judges. The judges and justices appointed by him following the 2011 and 2016 elections have no judicial power as they were appointed unconstitutionally, Kakuru said. In light of this, Kakuru said it is an open challenge to the legality, legitimacy and the constitutionality of the sitting government. It goes beyond civil activism. Such challenges go to the root of the Constitution and all that is done under it. He observed that the protests by activists for change are not about civic and or human rights, but are about the validity of the 2011 and 2016 elections and the constitutionality of the current government. According to the justices, the Walk to Work campaign by Besigye and his group was a way of expressing social and political discontent against the government of National Resistance Movement. The justices said the non-violent activity attracted public excitement in the city of Kampala and a few other towns. It also attracted government attention. Once Article 3 of the Constitution is invoked, which the petitioner has done, then any act or purported to be done under it is null and void. It would be declared as such once the constitution order is re-established. For this reason, the petition, by requiring this court to determine this petition, is engaging us in what is, in my view, an exercise in futility, Kakuru said. According to Kakuru, Besigye can only bring and maintain an action against the Attorney General appointed and serving in an established constitutional order having been appointed by a duly elected president. Kakuru said Besigye seeks to hold accountable a government that he considers illegitimate by invoking powers of a court appointed under such a government. He cannot do so. It is an exercise in futility. The justices said Besigye, by swearing himself in as president, appointing a cabinet and a National Assembly after the judgment and orders of the Supreme Court had been passed in the Amama Mbabazi vs. Yoweri Museveni election petition, Besigye was and is in contempt of court. Story by Michael Deng and Barbara Kabahumza for New Vision TV.
Now, in Buyende district, floods have displaced over 6,000 people in Kagulu, Kidera and Nkondo sub-counties, forcing families to relocate and spend nights in schools, mosques and churches. The floods submerged Nkone parish after a night-long downpour, filling houses and huts, forcing the occupants to flee for dear lives in the wee hours of Saturday and Sunday nights. In the Bupioko zone, according to Kagulu Sub-County Chief Sadat Mugoya, some families reportedly spent the night on anthills as they waited for water levels to go down. According to local Council 3 Chairman Kagulu Sub-County Stephen Malagala, the heavy rains opened the underground water channels before the water gushed through the foundations of houses and huts after midnight. Now, into news around the East African region, President Uhuru Kenyatta led the nation in marking 56 years since Kenya became a republic. The national celebrations were held at Nairobi's Nyayo Stadium, with Kenyans in other parts of the country gathering in various places to mark the day. Gracing the occasion was the Prime Minister of Barbados, the Right Honourable Mia Amar Motley. Deputy President William Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga are among prominent Kenyans who attended the celebrations in the capital. Others are Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, Amani National Congress leader Musalia Mudavadi, and Chief Justice David Maraga. Jamhuri Day is the day Kenya became a republic on December 12, 1964. We'll now take a quick break and return with more news. Welcome back from that break. You're still watching New Vision TV News. Now, in our new segment, Profiles, we look at Appeal, the Toro girl shaking the music industry.
In your arms, Abia, touch me, Abia. At 27 years, Apio Moro is that girl causing a stir at the music scene for her impressive stage presence and authenticity. She first shot stardom in 2015 when she took part in Urban TV Coca-Cola Rated Next. She was that little university girl who came to the competition and wowed judges with her spectacular voice. She, however, did not get far in the competition. Her performance was affected by her limited knowledge of the Luganda language. The challenge was that they chose Luganda songs for them to sing, and this became of a disadvantage to her. Apio is a Japadola, born and raised in Tororo. She has been writing and singing Afro-soul music for close to 7 years, favoring her mother tongue and the English language. Apio says people advise her to quit singing in Japadola and opt for Luganda. But she is not about to change her direction since some people appreciate what she does. Her fan base has been growing slowly over the years. She has been invited to sing at stages like Bayimba Festival, Blankets and Wines, World Music Day, and other big stages outside Uganda. She has collaborated with multi-Grammy Award winner Joston during her Uganda stop of the Joston Total World Tour on one of her songs, dubbed Parie. On stage, she sings with her acoustic guitar. Apio calls the guitar her best friend, and it's something she can't live without. Apio has slowed her progress since she has been on and off the music scene. Sometimes she feels like things are not working, and that's why she takes a step back and then returns to make it happen. Her other challenges are finances and slow rate of acceptance. She has over 16 songs, but she cannot afford to shoot music videos for them all. She hopes that one day she is going to make it big out there. On many occasions, Apio can be seen on border, wearing a hood. Her music has put her into the limelight, but she lacks the money to live like the star she is becoming. Her music plays in the houses of the rich, but that's not only how far music has taken her. She hopes that in the future, she'll make the money that she has always wanted to make. Apio's first time on stage was when she performed at Coca-Cola Rated Next, a talent search in 2015. Sima Sabiti, Benon Mugabia, Sharp Swali were the three judges that represented. Sima is proud to say that her exceptional voice amused all the judges. People at campus had always told Apio that she is that girl that had a good voice, that she could sing and therefore could make it happen to the context. She, however, never obtained a thing in the competition. Her performance was affected by her limited knowledge of the Luganda language. This is because Luganda songs were chosen for them to sing, and this gave her a challenge. Benon terms Apio a talented and always unique singer. For this reason, he almost signed her to the Swangs Avenue music label. The label recorded some demos before the contest was finished, which he says still sound amazing. To Benon, Apio has been unique, and that is something he terms very important in the music business. But what is Apio Moro's love life? Most of Apio Moro's songs are inspired by her own personal experiences. Apio is a storyteller whose music is relatable. She sings about things people all go through, and one of them is her love life and addiction to alcohol. In one of her songs entitled Obia, she sings about her ex-boyfriend sending a warning to his new coach that men are greedy. She says that this guy would use her and dump her for another. Apio wrote the song from the point of anger, and it was from this moment that she had just broken up with her ex-boyfriend. What hurt her most was he had moved on before she did.
In your arms, Obia, touch me, Obia, hold me, Obia, keep me safe. I know you will.
This story was compiled by Joan Murunji, New Vision TV.
That was a beautiful voice. Now we do take a look at news in business.
In business tonight, 4 countries emerged as the fast-growing fintech destinations in Africa for local entrepreneurial success, regulatory foresight, and the early signs of growth in the ecosystem. The 4 countries include Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, and Uganda. This is contained in the latest Global Fintech Index City Rankings 2020 conducted by Findexable. The index identifies emerging hubs, fintech companies, and trends. The index algorithm ranks the fintech ecosystems of more than 230 cities across 65, incorporating data from global partners including Startup Blink, Crunchbase, and SEMrush, together with a consortium of regional partners such as the African Fintech Network. The 4 countries emerged among the top watcher countries across the world for 2020 and how fast fintech is advancing in even the remotest regions. Other watchers on the list are the Philippines, Cyprus, Vietnam, Peru, Bangladesh, and Lebanon.
Now, for our special report, we look at how Ugandans fell into the cryptocurrency trap.
The desire to make money and meet daily demands of life increases every day, and with it, Ugandans are trying all avenues to make money. Many, especially corporates, have ventured into business, while others have ventured into agriculture apart from their daily jobs. However, one very attractive business that has promised a quick way to earn money without working hard has been the trade in cryptocurrency. What happened to be a good way of making money has turned out a far dream and has left many gnashing their teeth in disbelief. Many sunk in their money after selling plots of land, vehicles, and taking loans from banks and money lenders in the hope that the yields would be overwhelming. At first, it looked promising with Dunamis Coin, a cryptocurrency company, started operating this year. Many got their money back, including profits, after every 3 weeks as promised. However, they would withdraw the money with interest and inject it back to the company, thinking they would get more profits. The company had been giving clients up to 40% on cash investments. In addition, applicants were required to pay 10,000 shillings for registration. Not until last week, when news went viral on social media that government had closed the company after it had collected an unknown amount of investors and unsuspecting clients. Hundreds of victims, led by Entebbe Resident District Commissioner Haji Noah Injuti, thronged Criminal Investigations Directorate to register complaints. The victims came from various parts of the country, including Arua, Kampala, Mukono, and Masaka. Their hope was restored after the RDC promised the chances of getting back their money are high after the case had been investigated. The case involves criminality. That is why I handled the victims to police to have their matters handled. Police would hand over the report to President Yoweri Museveni after investigations, the RDC said. The CID Commissioner Economic Crimes, Bernard Kiria Sisye, said the police is holding 2 directors of the company at Old Kampala Police Station and is hunting for the third director for allegedly fleecing thousands of Ugandans billions of money. The directors are Samson Luanga, Mary Nabunya, and Susan Awoni, who is still at large. The account where the company deposited the money has been frozen. I do not want to promise you heaven on earth, but stay calm as we investigate your case, he said. The company operates accounts in Centenary Bank, GTB Bank, and Stanbic Bank. Kiria said a search has been conducted at the head office of the company and 14 million shillings, documents and money safes were recovered. He said the police are still searching other office branches. The victim's lawyer, Asimu Imperidwe, said Dunamis Coin Company was registered with Uganda Registration Services Bureau, saying they got in touch with the lawyer of the company to discuss and get ways of how money can be refunded to the people. The Dunamis Coin website indicates that the company's responsibility is to introduce the public to cutting-edge innovations in the world of online trading and other financial services. It further indicates that the company is committed to providing customized corporate financial and real estate services to members, micro, small and medium enterprises. The company's vision was to ensure 15% of Ugandans' population realizes maximum benefits in their investments with them by 2022. The victims, who included Joy Nkankuda, Ronald Dugutse, and Testos, an Eritrean, recorded statements at the police, including the amount they injected in the company. They attached their national IDs and receipts. Joy Nkankunda, 50 years, said she was convinced to join the business by a businesswoman she met at a certain shop in Kampala. I got a certain woman in a shop and she told me how good the business was, and I was prompted to join. I later brought on board my other 4 sisters, she disclosed. Akankunda said they deposited 10 million shillings last month and were expecting to get 14 million shillings, but only to hear the company had been closed. Ronald Ndugutsi, a resident of Mulago, said he injected 5 million shillings in the company in November and was expecting to get 7 million shillings in 3 weeks. When I went for money, I found the offices closed. An Eritrean known as Testos deposited with the company 140 million shillings. Another victim, identified as Joel, said he withdrew money from his account on September 19th, 2019, injected 3 million shillings in the company and got 4.2 million, but reinvested it in order to get more profits. When I went to get the money last week, I found when the office was closed. Another victim, identified Nicholas, said he had injected 8 million shillings and was supposed to get 11.2 million on December 9th. Another victim said he had lured many Ugandans from the diaspora to join the scheme and does not know how to get their money back. This latest crypto fraud follows a recent announcement by Ministry of Finance and Bank of Uganda, warning Ugandans on the public risks associated with cryptocurrencies. On October 5th, Finance Minister denounced the use of cryptocurrencies in the country, saying these are not recognized as legal tender in Uganda, which makes it illegal to use them. This story was compiled by Nikki Shilingi and Michael Odeng.
And that's all we had for you this evening. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you next time. I'll leave you with the fact file. Have yourselves a good night.